As you read by today's title, I'm going to be giving you guys 4 tips on how I'm able to budget and save for any trip I'm about to go on. When I'm about to purchase my ticket, I tend to wake up Tuesday or Wednesday morning. I book the ticket right away. Compare a ticket from when you book it on a Tuesday compared to when you book it on a Thursday, Friday, or Saturday. The ticket will cost $500 on Tuesday, and then when it hits Sunday be the worst days to book. So yeah, I looked at the prices for a ticket to Jamaica, for example, on Tuesday, and it was like going for $500. When I looked at the prices for it on Sunday, it was talking about $1,000. Like, where do you see that at? Also, try to leave for your trip on a Tuesday. So book your ticket on a Tuesday and try to leave to go on your trip on a Tuesday or a Wednesday, because I noticed that it's really cheap on those days compared to leaving on a Friday or a Saturday where most people are trying to get out the country. So I usually try to book my ticket either 2 months prior or at least a month and a half before, because I feel like the prices start to increase like the longer you wait. For me specifically, when it comes to saving for a trip, I tend to start saving anytime I get paid. Like if I know I want to go on a trip 2 months down the line, I start calculating each paycheck to see how much I gotta save. So what helps me is I take some money out of my pay for my savings, and then I take some money out for traveling. So I think what helps me not come back with $0, at least put away something in your savings, so that, you know, when you do save up all this money and you squander it on the trip, you have something to at least come back to when you're in, you know, the city. So things that help me save on a daily basis, one thing I like to do is go out to eat. Anytime I get the urge to like go to a restaurant or something like that, I just tell myself, would you rather be in a restaurant in New York City, or would you rather be out the country, like sipping on your little drink, watching the ocean, watching the sea? Would you rather buy these $300 pair of shoes, or would you rather use that towards experience? That's what I try to do when it comes to saving on a daily as the trip is approaching. I try to think of experiences over temporary things right now. So even if that's making home cooked meals instead of door dashing, take less Ubers, that money's gonna start to add up. It was only like $100 for spending money during the week, because it's like, what can you really do? Unless you have kids, like you should not be spending a whole chunk of money on unnecessary stuff. Be realistic by at least having a set of money you'll be able to spend, so you're not just like taking out your travel or your savings account money. Think about having steak and mashed potatoes in a foreign country rather than ordering a Wingstop in your room. So my next tip is, this is tip number 3, y'all. Choose an Airbnb over an all-inclusive resort. I'm not about to spend 3 days somewhere spending $3,000 on a resort. I don't got money like that yet. So be realistic with yourself. Especially if you're going by yourself, don't do that to yourself. Because why are you spending 3 bands for 3 days when you know you want to stay a week? I tend to do Airbnbs over all-inclusive hotels. I feel like it also gives you an authentic vibe, which is why I've been loving it. When I do my intensive research for Airbnb and I book my flight on time on a Tuesday, etc., I would say I pay at least like $1,100 when it comes to the flight, and then when it comes to the accommodation, and I'm talking about for a week's stay. So you only spending like $1,000 something when you do that for Airbnb, rather than going to an all-inclusive, paying $3,000 for at least 3 nights. Then you gotta save up for each day, and then you stay in there less. It doesn't make sense to me. So I rather get the most out of my money, and I just do Airbnbs over all-inclusive hotels. You're gonna get an authentic experience when you stay in an Airbnb compared to an all-inclusive hotel. Just do your research so that you know you're in a safe area. And you can watch my previous video on how to solo travel, the video before my last Jamaica vlog. You can see how to do your research and how to plan for a trip in that video. My last trip to Jamaica, that was an Airbnb, and it was not all-inclusive. Like, it was just on the Airbnb site. So sometimes you'll get lucky and you'll see beautiful hotels on the Airbnb app. Even when I did that, I feel like I didn't really get an authentic experience of Montego Bay, Jamaica. I think I was on the resort for some time. For most of my time, I don't know. I don't really remember. But I like Airbnbs more where I'm on my own and I literally have to go out and search for what to do. My last tip is to plan your trip ahead of time. Make an itinerary beforehand with pricing on the side. You finish booking your flight and everything, and you have everything that you know you want to do, the restaurants, the activities, the excursions, whatever. you have all of that on a list, it actually helps you prepare better. Notice that when I do that, and then, you know, I'm outside during the week, when I get the urge to start spending on something or go to a restaurant real quick, I start to look at my list like, oh nah, boo. That's jet ski money, you know? That's that restaurant you want to go to. That's the Ubers you gotta pay in a different country. So just think of it like that. Try to have an itinerary and plan out each day and have the price right next to it. I'll put it right here, an example of what I did when I was planning my trip to Costa Rica. Guys, I swear, I feel like when you wake up, you really don't know if you're making sense. So I'm really about to see if this video made sense. And if it did, it's gonna be up and live. That's really all my tips, y'all. If you enjoyed this video, like, share, and subscribe. Maybe leave a comment if you found it risky. Those are my tips for how to budget and save for any upcoming trips you have. Catch you guys in my next video, y'all.